The Valmiki Ramayana spans 24,000 verses, 7 massive books, and an entire mythological epic. But before a single line of poetry was recorded, the architect of this text mapped the entire narrative in one single, silent moment. According to the 3rd chapter of the epic, the sage Valmiki prepares himself for this cognitive download through a highly specific physical ritual. He washes his hands and feet, drinks a small measure of pure water, and sits facing the east on a mat of woven kusha grass. Once he slips into deep meditation, the creator deity, Lord Brahma, grants Valmiki absolute, terrifying omniscience over the past, present, and future of his subject, the Prince Ramachandra. The text uses a beautiful metaphor to describe this psychological clarity. It claims Valmiki saw the entirety of Rama's life as clearly as a piece of fruit resting on the palm of his own hand. Looking at this original table of contents for the Balakanda, we see a literal chronological map of every childhood trial and celestial weapon. Scanning the chapters reveals a structural blueprint, every ally and demon locked into sequence by the motionless author. Through this intense meditation, Valmiki takes the sprawling history of his era and crystallizes it into a prophetic blueprint, setting the foundation for the world's first epic poem. When we step inside that vision, the first phase centers entirely on Rama's youth. The text defines him immediately by his virtues: a prince possessing universal goodwill, a strict adherence to truth, and supreme humility. Those virtues are tested early. Rama is dispatched to the forest to receive mystical instruction from the sage Vishwamitra, culminating in his lifting and shattering of a massive celestial bow. That feat wins him the hand of Princess Sita in a joyous marriage. The triumph, however, is brief. Just as King Dasaratha prepares to install his son as heir apparent, a bitter political dispute within the royal court violently derails the coronation. Rama is offered the throne, but to uphold his father's honor, he renounces it without a fight. These opening chapters establish Rama as the ultimate embodiment of duty over personal ambition. The vision then darkens, pulling Rama, Sita, and his brother Lakshmana away from the palace and deep into the Dandaka forest. Back in the capital, the heartbreak of this exile causes King Dasaratha to collapse and die. Rama's younger brother, Bharata, rides into the forest, begging him to return and take his rightful place. Rama refuses, handing over a pair of wooden sandals to serve as a symbol of his authority while he finishes his 14-year exile. With the succession settled, the exiles push further into the wilderness, where the violence escalates rapidly. Rama slays the wicked demon Virata and forms a protective pact with the local ascetics being hunted in the woods. The inciting incident for the true war occurs when a female titan named Shurpanakha attacks them. She is mutilated by Lakshmana, triggering a massive retaliatory strike that ends in the slaughter of the demon general Kara and his 14,000 troops. This military disaster catches the attention of Ravana, the Titan king. In a devastating counterattack, Ravana lures Rama away, murders the protective vulture Jatayu, and abducts Sita. At this exact moment, Valmiki's vision shifts in scale. A familial dispute over a throne erupts into a cosmic war against the demonic chaos spreading from the island of Lanka. To counter this threat, Rama needs an army. The vision expands as he marches south, forging a massive military alliance with Sugriva, the leader of the monkey tribes. Sugriva's chief minister, Hanuman, takes on an impossible reconnaissance mission. He leaps across the ocean, infiltrates the heavily guarded island fortress, and discovers Sita held captive in the Ashoka garden. Armed with her location, Rama's forces execute a staggering feat of engineering. They build a physical bridge across the straits, marching their troops directly to Ravana's doorstep to begin a fierce, pitched siege of the city. The climax of Valmiki's vision is written in blood. One by one, Ravana's generals are picked off on the battlefield, culminating in the death of the Titan King himself at the hands of Rama. With Sita's purity proven through an ordeal by fire, the exiles finally return to Ayodhya. Rama reclaims his throne, fulfilling the desperate plea made by the gods at the very beginning of the epic, the restoration of balance to the universe. But Valmiki's download does not end on a note of pure triumph. He sees the bitter epilogue. Public doubts about Sita's purity force her departure from the kingdom, eventually leading her right to Valmiki's own forest hermitage to raise Rama's twin sons. The timeline of the epic snaps back to the present. The vision recedes, and we return to the physical world, where the sage is still sitting perfectly still on his mat of kusha grass. The text explicitly states its own utility here. It was designed as a spiritual tool, intended to confer righteousness, promote wisdom, and grant the reader release from sorrow. Chapter 3 of the Ramayana captures an incredibly rare moment in literature. It shows exactly when history is alchemized into sacred myth, the moment the vision ends, and Valmiki puts the first word to the page.